place. The flags could symbolize some of the tears that were shed by Americans for the victims, for firefighters, and for police who worked valiantly to save lives. In the end, however, what polarized the nation was a photo of the American flag being firmly and resolutely placed on top of the rubble of the World Trade Center, symbolizing the strength of the people of the United States and our resolve not to allow a tragic act of terror to shake the foundations of democracy and freedom. The reality of peace that many people enjoyed in the United States was altered on September the 11th. We learned that the United States has enemies and that those enemies do not care who they harm in the war on freedom. Yet even through this tragedy, this horrible loss of innocent lives, Americans stood strong and reaffirmed their belief of freedom, democracy, and love for their fellow man. These three tenets are the colors of the American flag. They are the red, white, and blue of the flag and the honor of justice for all that we salute when we say the Pledge of Allegiance. This was the message that Mike Luther of Warrington wove into a poem he wrote on September 11, 2001, called The Voice of My Father's Flag. I'd like to read a short excerpt from it. To you who have hurt my people, you have made a grave mistake. For we stand together more than ever. You have killed a great number of my people. You will never kill my country. Now we are ready. Now all of us, living and dead, feel the breeze getting stronger and stronger. It's no longer a mere breeze anymore. It's a great whirlwind blowing across our nation. It carries like stars and stripes throughout the land. It also carries determination of rightful justice, a sense of resolve that knows no boundaries. If our flag could speak, it would have so many stories to tell. I think its greatest, however, would be how Americans stand up for freedom and the principles of democracy, and how Americans care for their fellow men in war, peace, and in the face of great tragedy. 60,000 flags. What a beautiful story is being written here today. Thank you for paying tribute to those who lost their lives, those who are war prisoners of war, and those who remain missing in action. Thank you for remembering and for honoring freedom and democracy. And thank you for allowing the American flag to tell the story. United Americans are strong under the American flag. We stand united. Thank you, and forgive me. And for Dean DiGirolamo and all the other representatives in the House, we have this citation that you can also read later.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to take a moment to direct your attention to the crane that was so generously donated by AMQUIP, and I'd just like to point out that POW MIA flag is the same size as the display flags behind the memorial. You can imagine how big that American flag is. That sends a signal to a lot of people. The Bucks County Commissioners have worked with us again through the years, and unfortunately we had some cancellations. They had other commitments. I'd just like to mention them. It's Michael Fitzpatrick, Charles H. Martin, and Sandra A. Miller. And they would manipulate the system when we were over in Silver Lake and other places, and are big supporters of what we do. So I'd like to mention them. There's another man from Bucks County. He's the director of the Office of Military Affairs, and he's been extremely instrumental in helping the veterans. He helped get the VA Outreach Center at the 5 Points. He's worked to get vans to take disabled veterans down to the VA hospital in Philadelphia. I'd like to introduce a friend of ours and a friend of veterans, Mr. Dan Fraley.
Howdy, how you doing today? It's a beautiful day for us Vietnam veterans, those of us that have been overseas and left behind 67,000 young men who never became fathers, who can celebrate Father's Day like Tommy Tomlinson did today with his young daughters. Bucks County has been a community that has worked together to get the things that Ken Milken has talked about. DV3 has done a great job here in Bucks County. I see the Korean War veterans are represented. The ex-POWs, Kay Burns is over here. The Jewish War veterans back here. The VFW all around us, the American Legion. Bucks County works together with all veterans organizations to get over here. You'll see a white van. It's the van that Ken had mentioned. It's a 15-passenger van that takes veterans to VA hospitals. There's nothing we can do about these 67,000 young men back here who never had a chance. There's nothing we can do about these young men, but there is something we can do about our veterans. We have over 60,000 veterans here in Bucks County that need services, that need to get to the VA hospital, and everybody here probably knows Don Jones. We realized when Don went down to the VA hospital, I drove him down in my car. When he was dying, he had 2 months left to live, and we had to use a personal car. Today we have a van. We've had over 400 veterans use that van to get down to the hospitals. We've had 12,500 veterans get to our clinic in Levittown. Now you all probably read that the VA wants to reorganize next year. They want to close some hospitals and they want to reopen some clinics. We need to make sure that Bucks County has the clinic that we have here. We only have one clinic. That's at 5 Points in Levittown. It's open every Monday for all veterans. We need to make sure that that clinic is there next year, the year after, and 5 years from now. We need to make sure that that van is fully funded and running while we're all alive. And I thank you.
We planned for this event for a year. And like any good battle plan, when the day comes, the plan goes up in smoke. There are always last minute things. You may have seen Jesse, he was in camouflage, and maybe you didn't see him, come over and give me a note. I just learned that District Attorney from Bucks County, Diane Gibbons, is here. Is she here? Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Jesse. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. And when I arrived here and I saw the thousands of flags that were painted behind me, I remembered not just those that were lost during the Vietnam War, but all of those who answered the call of duty. My father was a veteran of World War II, and he used to tell me stories of December 7th, 1941, when an entire generation responded to an attack. And I lived as a young teenager through Vietnam, and I watched family after family in my neighborhood, in my school, relatives of mine respond to the call of another war. And now today, after September 11th, we are all once again asked to respond. For those of us who fight this fight today, let's not forget those who fought the fight before us. The ones who not only died, but the ones who answered the call, who gave their lives, who gave their pain, who gave their tears, who gave their bodies, who gave their love to this country that allowed us to be here today to fight the fight. I want to thank you on behalf of the Bucks County District Attorney's Office, and I want to also pledge to you that everyone in law enforcement will fight the fight that we need to fight in this, our time of war, and a time of war on our own property, in our own country. Thank you very much.
District Attorney Gibbons just said to fight the fight, and I just noticed, I think he snuck in, you thought I didn't see him. We have a police officer who normally would be standing out there with a set of bagpipes. He was injured on duty. I would just like a round of applause to thank Officer Ed Wallace for the job he does. We have a few extra speakers today, and we love them all. And our next one is from Bristol Township, and I met him not too many years ago. And the Bristol Township Memorial is he sees it every day when he goes to work. And for a long time, it was in disrepair and hidden by the bushes. I simply said that when I go to work at night, I see some lights, but I see nothing. And I'll always remember the fact that not a month later, the bushes were trimmed back, the space was opened, and when I go by at night, I give a little salute, and there's our monument. I'd like to introduce Bristol Township Mayor Sam Fenton.
Dear fellow Americans, good afternoon and thank you for inviting me to this glorious ceremony, for giving us the opportunity to remember our veterans through this memorial. Today you have given us a time to reflect on our American flag and what it represents. We enjoy freedom today because all sacrifices made by others. Memorials such as this allow us to preserve history as well as afford us the opportunity to thank the brave men and women and war dogs who have served this great country. There are no greater hero than these. Today, I would like to present 2 awards to be passed each year on Flag Day to another set of veterans for community service. This award will be given out annually by DV3's commander. For the year 2001, I would like to honor Jesse Hill, Treasurer, DV3, and Karen Angel Blake, Sergeant of Arms of DV3, for their service to Bristol Township community. Right here, there are 2 commemorative watches representing the Vietnam War for our heroes. Thank you. God bless America.
Before we get to our keynote speaker, I'd like to introduce a man who is so deeply involved in Veterans Affairs, I think he lives and breathes it. I know him through different projects we worked on, but I also know him as an honored member of the Chapel of 4 Chaplains and a prime mover in getting a veterans nursing home in the Philadelphia area. Please help me welcome Mr. Vince Malatesti.
First, I want to thank all my comrades from DV3 for inviting me here today and give me the opportunity to bring some good news to all the veterans and their families here today. As you all know, in the general area, the Levittown Shopping Center is going to be torn down. The second oldest Vietnam memorial sits on that property. Through the efforts of Senator Tomlinson's office, a plan has been put forth, and then the county commissioners, we invited them over and they got involved. And we are going to move that Levittown Vietnam Memorial over to 5 Points in Levittown. That is being done every day of the week through the efforts of Joseph Bush and the Park Commission. He's working on getting the memorial moved, and it's going to be something beautiful near the library. We're planning on 4th of July, 11 a.m. Everyone's invited to take part in this beautiful ceremony that we're going to have and rededicating this memorial on behalf of all the Levittown Vietnam veterans that made the ultimate sacrifice. That's one good news. Secondly, our nursing home. Through the efforts of the state of Pennsylvania and the VA in Washington, our nursing home is complete. Any day now, the contractor will be handing the Department of Military Affairs the key to this property. Starting July 1, if you know of any veteran that needs a nursing care, domiciliary, Alzheimer's, applications will be accepted starting July 1. If you want, call me, and I will see that you actually get an application. If anyone cares to go to work in this facility, see me, and I will turn this application over, your resume over to the proper authorities. We will not be accepting veterans into this facility until November 1. A lot has to be done, Department of Health and so forth, and many, many things have to be done before we put veterans into this facility. So November 1, we'll start this project and bringing veterans into the facility. Thirdly, something short. About a year and a half ago, I was approached about the Comfort House in Philadelphia. The Comfort House sits about 2 blocks from the VA hospital. It is a place where they house up to 10 cancer patients on a daily basis. They go to the hospital, get treatment, and they go back to the Comfort House. It was going to be lost, and I was asked to take a look at it. I took a look at it, and I called Meg O'Shea at the VA hospital, and I asked her what this meant to her. She said, a great deal. And I told her it's going to be gone. And she said, Vince, if all possible, try to save it. I put a bunch of men together, and we put a plan into effect. And today, it's only been a year. If you saw this Comfort House, you'd say it wasn't something done by a group of men. It was a miracle. I met a retired carpenter just by accident on the phone. And I asked him what he did for a living, and he said, I'm a retired carpenter. I said, don't hang up, I need you. Through the efforts of this one man and his partner, we hooked up with the Electrical Workers Union, the Sheet Metal Workers Union, all the labor groups in Philadelphia. They went over this house from top to bottom. All the work is redone, the iron workers, everything is redone. We put in 2 new air conditioning. They never had air conditioning. Air conditioning is now in there, and it's a beautiful facility, and it's done by donations. The VA hospital gives us about half of what it takes to operate this place. So we run the balance of this place, the whole place, through donations. And it is a good thing, and if anybody knows cancer patients that need help, please see me, and we'll see that they get the proper care. And thanks a million, thanks for everything, and thank the DAV for letting me give this announcement.
Need a volunteer to bring the honor guide some water, and I would tell the honor guide to go at the easiest parade rest you can. We're almost through. We come to our keynote speaker, and I knew his trucks long before I knew him. And if you remember us from Silver Lake, we had some ingenious, I'm going to say ingenious ways of lighting the flags at night. Not all of them worked well. A few years ago, we were setting up the flags, and a Dayton Electric truck came up, dug a hole, whacked a few rocks out of the way, and put in a telephone pole with lights that is now a permanent installation at Silver Lake. We are here today in this beautiful, beautiful Falls Township Park because of the efforts of this man. He is our keynote speaker. Please welcome, I'm going to call him Bill. It's William E. Dayton Jr., Falls Township Supervisor.
Thank you, Ken, for that wonderful introduction. It's not that often I get introduced so well. I'd like to welcome everybody here to Falls Township's Park. It is a wonderful day. You've heard everyone say it. We had a tough time on Friday, but we had a lot of volunteers here. And I see some of my board members here. I see Richard Otto running around here. Rich, if you could come up here with me, and any of the other board members, pretty good crowd, I don't see you all. If you could come up here with me also. Rich, if you're here, put your hand up. Did you run away on me? Dilly-dallying, I know it. Everybody, encourage him to come up here. Rich Otto and I got together on this project to get this. Richard Otto. We got together on this project to get the Delaware Vietnam veterans moved from Silver Lake to here, not because the county commissioners weren't doing their part. They were doing what they could do. But we had an opportunity to afford the Vietnam veterans a place to do this with great honor, really put forward a heck of an effort with good facilities, and matter of fact, great lighting, Ken. Good lighting. Okay. I had a speech prepared. It was pretty darn good, actually. But on Friday, I was driving down that road. If you see the vehicles that drive, every once in a while you'll see one go by in that area. I was coming on my way here to put flags in like I have done for many, many years. And it was pouring down rain, and I was like, oh man, I don't really think I want to do this today. I stopped my truck right there in the middle of the road. There was about 100 people out here, and it was pouring. It was a driving rain. And they were out here putting these flags in, kneeling down in the mud, grass, but yet mud underneath of that, kneeling down an inch of water, and it was driving pretty hard on them. And nobody, not one person, went over there and took shelter because it was raining a little too hard. Because we all remember the men and women that sacrificed their lives for this country. They did what they had to do when they didn't want to do it. They did it for us, they did it for me, for everybody. We all know that. We heard all the speeches today. I got back, drove back around, came down here. I stayed out here in the rain with my dear friends. And I was glad to see so many new volunteers and new faces. And I think it was Ken that said they're getting old and creaky and they only want to do it 3 more years. Pay attention, Ken. Guy's always talking in the back. I got to keep an eye on him all the time. But I think the inspiration of this event, Saturday with the bands, we had over 1,000 people coming and going, maybe 2,000. It was a heck of an event. A lot of bands, a lot of fun, a lot of families, children running about. And on Thursday, we had the same thing in the rain. No bands, we had a CD going. And I think that we're going to continue this, Ken. And like I told you and some of the others, this is your park. You get this place 3 days a year. And if you're kind enough, you'll let the soccer team use it the other 362 days a year, if you'd be so kind. Yeah, fix the We're working on the sod out here. Everybody bear with us. At the end of today, 3 o'clock-ish, there's going to be a small gathering. People are going to mill around, look at these flags. But then we're going to need volunteers to take them out. And I see a lot of people here, and I see a lot of healthy knees and hands. There's one over there. He's trying to turn away like I don't see him. But we're going to need some volunteers to take these out. And these gentlemen that are getting up there in the years, I've been there with them. I've seen them age. I've heard them squeaking and their bones creaking. And we're going to need some help today. And that's what I changed my speech to ask everybody here to stay and help out. Thank you.
I just got a note that Township Supervisor Rich Otto was here. A little bit late. Now we come to, I need Jesse. We're ready for the awards. And Jesse would like to do this.
He's coming.
These awards are named after deceased members. These real brief. This is the Mark Foreman Service Award. This is service to DV3 and their members. This year it goes to Bill Dayton Jr. These are voted on by their peers, you know. Because these awards really mean a lot. Bill? Yeah. Don't tell. This is a secret. Don't tell. This one is the Richard W. Fitzgerald Achievement Award. It's accomplishments of goals and projects for the betterment of the veterans and their families. And this man don't need any introduction. Everybody knows him as a friend, a brother, and a police officer. Edward C. Wallace.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to go have a race with him.
Video. Jocelyn.